The issue with ranking all of these moves is that all of them are terrible. Like, you have no real reason to use any of these in a serious match. That being said, I think Hatchet Man is the least bad out of all of these, specifically if you take it out of the context of Hero's down B menu. I'll talk about menu in a little bit, and I'll rank Hatchet Man with menu separately, but just the move itself is honestly almost a viable pick. It's frame 37, which is a lot faster than any of these, and it's actually kind of at the speed of some of the slower smash attacks in this game. For Hatchet Man by itself, you can kind of imagine a slightly faster Snake forward smash, except it also breaks shields instantly and kills at slightly below 60. Now that's a really scary move to just throw out. Even though it's very punishable, a lot of what these moves rely on is fear factor, and Hatchet Man has a lot of that, which can make a lot of people freeze up, which in turn kind of makes it easier to land. That's kind of a way to rationalize it, but that's really the only way you're going to land any of these moves. Second best is a little bit of a toss-up between Brawler and Byleth. However, I think Brawler takes the top spot or second top spot for Exploding Sidekick. Now, Exploding Sidekick is pretty much weaker Falcon Punch with a lot of quality of life upgrades. It kills at 70 with the sweet spot, 80 with the sour spot, instead of around 60 for most of these and 50 for Byleth. But in exchange for that, you have armor, which Falcon Punch lacks, and great shield safety. This move is actually -7 on shield, which is actually also how safe Hatchet Man is on parry, which is something I forgot to mention. So you can just use this move on somebody's shield and be safe, which is what a lot of people are not going to be expecting. This move kind of thrives on matchup inexperience to some extent, both because you can bait out bad shield punishes, and also because you can reverse the move so late, you can also bait people out to roll at ledge, and then reverse the kick unexpectedly, and then punish them for picking what would be really the right option for any of these other moves. So a lot of that kind of cheese factor comes together to make this the second best Falcon Punch, but again, really not worth using. Also, Brawler's aerial momentum makes this a lot more mobile of a move than you would really expect from it, especially with the Browy Punch tech that I was talking about earlier. So this is a tool. You can use this to some extent, but still, it's a Falcon Punch. It's not going to get much use unless you really have a good read on your opponent. Byleth is kind of on the opposite end of the spectrum, because he has the strongest out of all of these moves, but it's also the second slowest, only behind Ganondorf. It's not very mobile at all. You can only drift slightly to the left or right, but the two big things about it that make it the third best, and a very close third at that, are the fact that it kills the earliest out of any Falcon Punch at around 50, and the fact that it has such a huge arcing motion, which can, I don't want to say catch people off guard, but it's kind of the effect of like Ganon forward smash or up smash, where it's just this huge area you have to avoid. And also, like Hero, it breaks shields instantly. However, unlike Hero, if you parry this, you have, I think, around 38 frames to get a punish out, so if this gets parried, it's completely unsafe, as you might expect, as, you know, makes sense. I have no idea why this is so safe on parry. Next up is Ganon, and this was a hard one to rank with Falcon Punch, because Ganon Punch actually kills later than Falcon Punch if you DI it correctly, because it has this weird, different knockback angle from all the other ones, so even though this looks like it should be the strongest, by all means, it's actually the second weakest, only behind Brawler. The only thing that, in my opinion, puts it above Falcon Punch is that it has armor. It kind of gains a little bit of utility as a way to bait people out, because they see this big move and think they can land a punish, but they actually can't. And that's the only thing these moves have going for them, because otherwise it's just a big, slow attack. But this one is a big, slow attack that can absorb other attacks, and that's the only thing that gives this utility over any other moves. Falcon Punch is, unfortunately, probably the worst out of all of these moves. With exceptions to Hero with Hatchet Man and Menu, because it's one of the faster ones, and it's got an average kill percent at I think around 62, but it has absolutely nothing going for it in terms of armor, and that's really important. Like, Mii Brawler has armor pretty late into the move, but that's still significant. Falcon just has nothing, which I think is an intentional design choice because that makes it the most hype if you land it. Like, you really have to know your opponent and have the download on him in order to land this, but that comes with the price of having it be completely abysmal. It does have the movement thing that Mii Brawler also has, which makes it not completely irredeemable and might actually put it above Ganondorf. I'm not really sure. I'm just going to put these in the same tier and say that they're almost interchangeable. I'm not sure which of these is better, but I know which one is the worst one, and that's Hero with Menu. Hatchet Man with Menu is a joke of a move. If you land this, your opponent should probably quit the game forever, because not only does Menu add at least 20 frames of lag, making this frame 57, which is only faster than Ganon and Byleth, but that's also assuming you top deck it perfectly every time and that you know it's coming, which realistically obviously is never going to happen because it's totally random. So you would have to pull up the menu, let your opponent also see that you have a Hatchet Man, scroll down to the Hatchet Man, which only takes a few frames, and then use it. And by this time you've probably already gotten a punish by the time the Hatchet Man comes out. So this really only has use as a shield break punish, and even then it might actually kill later than crit forward smash. So Hatchet Man is a really funny move to land on your opponent, but again, kind of like Falcon's, only because it's so terrible.
Show me your moves. Falcon!